big boys don't brag about women. A lot of you guys I see grow up without a father who told you that, look, son, I'm going to son you tonight. And here's how I'm going to do it. If you do your job, if you have a car, if you have your own place, if you can last for 15 to 30 minutes, you will be able to score. Why am I saying that? Because that is how people in reasonable societies, and reasonable communities, and reasonable cultures operate. They don't go around bragging about, man, I got all these women, dog. Look at me. I'm a triple G. And not like that other triple G neither, even though I can probably box almost as good as him. But no, I'm still a G. I'm a double G. There you go. I'm a double G in the community. I know that didn't rhyme, but look, I'm going to take my time. Look, now, these guys who brag about how many women they get, I've stated this before. These are the kind of guys who are willing to compromise themselves. It's just as simple as that. There's no secret to it. There's no game to it. There's nothing to this. Yes, you want to know about certain things about the opposite gender. Okay, fine. I'll give you that. And if you want to call it knowing game, learning game, I'll give you that. But displaying and having game and the way that some of these PUA guys emphasize it, and these other guys who are trying to shame dudes who are going overseas emphasize it, nah, we are not buying that. Not in this channel. The buck stops here in regard to these guys who want to brag to you about, man, look, I'm deep in the heart of the community, and look at me, I ooze all the game and the swag and the drip in the world, and I get all the honeys on me. Look, let me tell you something. Last night, right, this freaking doctor came in, thinking he was all hoity-toity with his uppity ass, and he had a fine girl, right, and you know what I did? I had that game on her, man. I had put that game. Look at this game, man. Oh, this game. Ooh. And guess what? She went home with me. Well, that freaking educated blank doctor, he was just sitting there. He was just sitting there, and all he could do was hold on his own nuts and go home and, fap the hentai. That's what he did. That's what he usually does. But I don't know how he got with that hot chick. But he went home with me, though. All of these hightail stories. Oh yeah. One time, guess what, man? I just went in the club and instantly got a Boris Johnson by 2 women within 2 minutes, and I hit finish in 2 minutes, but they plugged it in, put it. Now, look, these hightail stories. Now, a lot of these guys post online. Well, half of these guys are capping. Now, it's a lot of capping on one side. There's a lot of coping on the other side, which we'll talk about in the next video. But the cappers, we're on the cappers right now. A lot of these guys have all these hightail stories about how, oh man, I got all the women, or I had all the ones who basically sitting around as if they're World War veterans. You brag as if you survived the World War, acting as if you were a freaking soldier who went in there and came out a general. Please, I mean, a general of what? The community? Of what? Look, save it. People are really about to call you out. Well, they already have already. That's all I'm talking about. And this isn't towards the people you may think that I'm talking about, but nonetheless, there are individuals who love to lord it over in other individuals how better they are when it comes to women. Well, check this out. Looking into dysfunctional societies versus functional societies. Do you see functional societies bragging about how much women they get? Or how many women they had at one point? Or how many multiple women they had in one day? Okay, yeah, they may talk about that amongst their friends. I get it. They may talk about that amongst their closest acquaintances. Look, all right, cool. Everyone does that. Yes, even people outside the community do that. But these guys do not live and die by how much poon they get. And I know if AMS sees this, he's going to cook me for using the word poon. So, I'm ready for the roast. Bring on the roast. Anyway, shout out to them though. Look, as far as the rest of the societies are concerned, they are more concerned about what you do outside of the bedroom. What do you do? What do you bring to the table? How do you contribute to society? What service or product or idea are you providing to the world? That is what gets the interest of a lot of the so-called, well, not so-called, but of the opposite gender. It's not how many women you've already been with. Yeah, there's the rule of, okay, yeah, you get women, you attract women. Okay, I'll give you that. That's universal. But that's not the end-all, be-all. That's the thing that a lot of people need to realize. And check this out. Within the community, yeah, we're cooking the community for a minute. If you had to brag about how many women you got with, during my day, I'm just saying this, in the 90s, the people who bragged the most for starters were usually the ones who either got it the least or had to scrape the most to get it. A lot of these guys who are bragging on themselves are usually the ones who either couldn't get it till recently, or the guys who aren't used to it, or the guys who have to work a lot for it. I mean, and trust me, it took way more than game and swag and all this other jazz in order for them to brag about the little they receive. Because let's be honest, the amount of work they put in versus the output that they receive sort of gives you the conclusion that it was all a waste of time. Yes, I'm sorry, gang guys. I'm sorry, guys who are bragging about how much women you get, about how much this and that and then the third you get. Look, it's not, nobody's being impressed. Nobody is trying to give you a medal or a trophy or an award or anything of that nature just because you were king dangling back in your day. Nobody cares, seriously. I know there are certain guys out there on the opposite side of the spectrum who are crying about these guys are bragging, these guys are brag maxing, and I'm gonna get to those guys next. Don't worry. I call out both sides in the channel, which is the reason why I can barely get above 4,000 subs. I mean, let's be honest, people. But yeah, looking at how things are, looking at how the conditions are in this country, yes, we're getting somewhat back to normal when it comes to the post-COVID and the post-beer flu world. Excuse me, I can't say the C. Can you say the C word now? I guess you can say the C word now. Now that the ratings are out and that Orange Man Bad is out as well. So I guess it's safe to say that word. But nonetheless, guys, yes, you may have gotten your first down chicka wow wow snoo at 13. Okay, cool. Where is the medal? Guys, you may have had more threesomes and four-ways and Fatal 5 team cleanups than the average man has had partners. Cool. Where are your receipts? Where are the receipts? Ooh, I said the R word. I didn't even mean to say the R word. Receipts. Where are the receipts? Look, the guys who are bragging the most, notice how they have the least receipts. Granted, yeah, the guys on the other side, I mean, they sort of don't need the receipts because they're sort of telling themselves. But look, if you're going to brag about all the heroic adventures you were into, and all of the hightail stories of you slaying the Punani and taking down two Punanis and 1 hour. Okay, cool. Where are the receipts? That's all I'm asking. I'm not even hating. Like, some of you guys out there, I can believe. I personally can believe because the way you talk about it. I'm not even talking about those guys, the guys who I can believe, who are like, all right, yeah, this guy, yeah, he had some high tail stories, maybe a bit of hyperbole in there, but yeah, he slayed the punani. He slayed 2 punanis in one time, like, or at least in one day, one night. I'll give you that. But these other guys who are trying to lord it over other guys about how much more this I get than you, how much more that I get than you, I'm gonna say this: take them out of their environment, which is usually a dysfunctional environment. You take them to a normal environment, an environment where people care about production, where people care about mindset, and where people are not impressed by that dude bro or baby kid element, then we'll see how that holds on in regards to their track record. Look, guys, stop bragging. No one cares. Let go of the high stories, high tail stories. Don't let it go. Drop it. Drop the sword. Drop the sword. Drop the shield. Yeah, drop that shield. Drop the helmet. Drop the swag. Drop it. I know you don't want to drop the swag. Drop the game. Enough. And drop the glass. Everyone else out there always bet on X.